Hey! Hi, how you doing? This is the Gamertron, and welcome back to the Gamertron Show. I am joined by my brand new partner in crime, Nathan, Nate, Foldaren, whatever the hell you want to call him. That's his full name from now on. Nate, Foldaren, whatever the hell you want to call him, and you're gonna have to live with it from now on. Sorry about that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm used to it by now.
How you doing, Nate?
I'm doing good. You, Ryan?
I'm doing fantastic. It's the end of the year already. My God.
I think this year in gaming has been extraordinary.
Freaking amazing.
Ranging from Life is Strange to Just Cause 3, both games which are incredible.
And we're going to have to talk about.
Indeed.
We are going to talk about your favorite games of the year. You up for that?
All right, let's do this.
Okay. So first, let's talk about games that you got to play, but I didn't really get to play. One of them being, I know a game you really want to talk about, this Sword Coast. I know I'm not pronouncing the entire name. What's the entirety of the title again?
Sword Coast Legends. It's a really good game, but to be honest, it has more potential than it has right now. For all you D&D fans out there, it's based on the 4th edition. And what you do in this game is there are 4 players and a dungeon master, and you can play 5 players, and basically, yeah, that's pretty much it. You go dungeoneering with friends. As the game came out, when it did come out, it wasn't extremely intensely developed, as some of you may know. Now, it's getting more and more updates, like 1 gig updates, 2 gig updates, and it's getting bigger and bigger, and soon the actual workshop is going to be released. So workshop content.
Steam Workshop.
Yeah, the Steam Workshop. People are going to be able to work on this game and make it even more incredible. But like I said, a game where you can create your own story that has a workshop, it's going to be huge.
Damn, so this really is the video game version of Dungeons & Dragons, but it's just not called Dungeons & Dragons.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it was made by the same people who made Dragon Age.
BioWare.
No, not the same company, the same team. The actual people, like the producers. The storyline was made by them, and some of the gameplay, if I understand correctly.
Okay, that's interesting. That's really interesting to know. Okay, another game you got to play this year, which I'm sure a lot of people have already fallen in love with this year. A lot of people already calling it their game of the year. Metal Gear Solid 5: The Phantom Pain. So much controversy surrounding this game. How do you feel about the game, first of all, as a game itself, and what do you think about the controversy surrounding it? First, how do you like Metal Gear? What do you think of Metal Gear?
This is actually my first Metal Gear game that I've played. I've never
Seriously?
Yeah, it is. I've never been a huge Metal Gear fan, not because I didn't want to play them, but more because I didn't have any money, and growing up, all we had was a Sega. So, yeah, what I think about the new Metal Gear, well, first of all, the fact that you can extract sheep and bears, animals into your base, I find that hilarious. I mean,
of all the things I see people putting up YouTube videos of this game, like, you'd think it would be cutscenes, awesome action. No, it's just people putting hot air balloons on everything.
Oh, that's hilarious. I just have fun looking at the people going up in the sky and go, okay, goodbye now, see you later, and they're like, screw you. And I mean, it's weird how, like, everyone in this game is a sadist. You go up to your base and you start beating people and it's, oh yes, thank you, boss, we like it that way. And I don't know if you guys know, but when you strangle someone on your base, there are 2 things you can do. Normally it's like interrogate, or there's an interrogation. And when you interrogate, you have the question to ask, tell me where your friends are, or talk, which is basically like tell me secrets. One of them tells you a tip in the game, and the other one is an extremely deranged phrase, and they say like, oh yes boss, harder, or stuff like that, which is, to me, completely disturbing but hilarious at the same time.
Of all the things I expected you to talk about Metal Gear, this was not one of them.
I mean, it was fun to me. I walked around the boss and I laughed quite a lot when I figured that.
So you had more fun, like, basically goofing around in the game and finding all the little, well, silly stuff you could find in the game. You didn't take it too seriously?
Yeah, I didn't take it too seriously, but it was a really good game. But like I said, the beginning was really fun for me, and then I mean, the story kind of cut off. It didn't seem really. It seemed incomplete, and as I understand it, it was incomplete, rushed as a release.
So yeah, we might as well talk about the controversy. What do you think of the controversy so far? Well, so far, I guess it's finally come to a close between Kojima and Konami.
I heard he was leaving. Well, he left, and he's making another company.
Yeah, he is. He's working with PlayStation directly, and he's made his own studio.
Yeah, well, I would accept him to be extremely mad at Konami because they barred him from attending the awards.
I know, the Game Awards. Konami basically, like, they committed suicide then and there.
Yeah, I mean, okay, I get that you had your disagreements, but shit.
like banning someone from an award show, it's just, there's no end to the pettiness.
I was completely like, you'd think you're dealing with child.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. But yeah, overall, despite the controversy and despite the obvious cut content, how do you think Metal Gear Solid held up compared to all the other huge and amazing games that came out this year? How do you think Metal Gear Solid held up? Is it one of your favorites of this year?
Definitely one in my top 10. Definitely, it was a really good game. Like I said, the goofing around was a big part of that, especially just walking around with Quiet, having her take bases on her own, me not doing anything. I'm just running around and she's just sniping everything.
Why am I not surprised that you did that? Why am I not surprised in the slightest?
It's basically an insta-win. Especially once you get the sleep dart silent sniper that she gets. I basically rushed that and then I was like, okay, well, let's get 1 billion people in my base now.
Again, why am I not surprised?
I'd be surprised if anyone didn't do it a couple times. I mean, I tried not to do it too much, but damn, it was hard to resist.
Moving on from Metal Gear, another game this year that you got to play that I didn't get to play, Magic 2. I finally got Magic 2, but I can't find the time to play it, unfortunately. But yeah, Magic 2. I know you were a big fan of the original Magica, so Magica 1 to 2, what do you think?
The first one was really good, but it lacked in some sorts, and it kept bugging, and if you played yellow, well, you kept dying. But the second one, they improved spells, and like there are a bunch of Easter eggs. Like for example, this did not happen in the first one, but in the second one, when you cross a healing beam and a arcane beam, it creates a black hole. And that's basically, with my friend, how I beat the whole game. I just kept creating black holes.
Again, why am I not surprised by this?
It's insanely hard to put them at right places because the black hole is created and it explodes. It's created where the two beams cross. And if you cross them too close to you, well, you die.
So, Ghostbusters rules then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't cross the stream.
Don't cross the streams.
But as a game overall, like, how do you think Magica 2 is a better game than Magica?
Oh, of course, it was way better executed. Well, the original Magica was created as a school project.
Seriously?
I don't know if you knew that, but yeah, the original...
No, I did not know that. I played hours of that game, and I did not know that.
I learned it from someone a couple weeks ago, but the original Magica was created as a school project in... I don't know who created it, but yeah, originally it was way more buggy and way more sad, but yeah, and they made a sequel out of it, which is pretty incredible, if you ask me. The people who made it should be proud.
Yeah, yes, Arrowhead Studios. They've gone quite big. They've made 2 games, actually 4 games, 3 of them being Magica games, one of them being another game that we will talk about later on during the video. But yeah, Arrowhead Studios. They've come a long way for an indie company, indie developer.
Yeah, well, like I said, students that just created an amazing game out of the blue.
It really. Something to behold, Now, anyways, let's talk about games that you and I have both played now. And since we just talked about Magica, we might as well just get straight into it. Words are coming out of my mouth, but they're not forming logical sentences. Helldivers is what I'm getting at.
Oh, basically, a Magica with guns.
But Magica already had guns.
Well, you know, guns that one-shot kill everything, including your teammates. And also, when you call for help, you can get killed by your teammates falling down from the sky.
Mm-hmm. So what do you, besides, like, ignoring Magica, how do you look at Helldivers as a game by itself, as both single-player and multiplayer?
Oh, it's incredible. I haven't played much of it single-player. I've played most of it in multiplayer with a couple people. I've already met a couple people who play it, and we play from time to time. And, well, the game as itself is incredibly well made. I don't know if that's exactly how they make it, but I think every time that you complete a planet, you get specific stratagems with which are, when you're in a mission, you have 4 of them, and you make a combination of your arrows.
They're basically like special abilities and
special
bonuses.
abilities. It's like a Magica spell, and then it summons something. For example, it calls a turret down from the sky, or a robot, which you can get into and kill either the bugs, the cyborgs, or there's another one that I don't...
The Illuminate, these weird
Illuminate.
ancient aliens.
Yeah. Which are a pain in the ass. Create wall.
I love those friggin' lasers.
Oh, they're incredible. One-shot kill.
But yeah, another thing, it's a very challenging game, Helldivers, eh?
Yes.
You and I, we had some pretty intense missions our last playthrough.
Yeah, and you need communication as to where you call your stuff from the sky. Like, for example, it happened to me and Ryan countless times where I'd summon my robot and he'd summon a tank on top of my robot and destroy my robot with his tank falling.
It was an accident, I swear!
That and, like, anything... Basically, your stratagems come from a starship that's orbiting the planet. And if you summon it at the same place that you are, or that someone else is, or that an item is, or whatever, that thing, anything under there gets destroyed. Including the dropship that comes and picks you up. So, if you're
Wait,
under
what?
the...
You can seriously destroy the dropship?
No, I don't think... Oh, that should be a thing to try. I don't know if you can actually destroy the dropship.
We need to try that. We need to try and, like, crash land a mech on the dropship or something like that.
Something like that we should try. But I know the dropship can land on you or your stuff and destroy it.
Oh, so many times that's happened to me.
Yeah, insane.
Ugh. But yeah, Helldivers also seems like a very community-focused game. It's a game that really focuses on the multiplayer and making you feel like you're kind of in a community, in an army.
Well, yeah, I don't know if you've looked into the story, but basically it's a huge war. And everything you do when you complete planets, and it gains you community influence, and you go through that war, and you advance in the war, and get closer and closer to your goal as a community. And
I don't know. Is there any other game that really does that? I don't know of any.
Well, the closest thing that I can think of was the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer.
Yeah, to an extent, but here, when you actually gain more community influence, you would invade an enemy's homeworld, which allows you access to a unique location.
Yeah, exactly. But, I mean, like I said, that's the closest thing I can think to.
Yeah, but wow, I hope more games do what Helldivers is doing. It's a great game. I have a blast playing with you. We need to play it more often when we can.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now another game we have both played. A huge contender for Game of the Year for a lot of people. Game of the Year, indeed, for a lot of people. And I know you've put a lot of hours in. I'm trying to put as many hours, but it's proving to be a challenge. The Witcher Free Wild Hunt.
Such an amazing game.
So I'll let you gush about it for a couple minutes.
Well,
now.
first of all, you can't just do the storyline in Witcher 3. You can't.
It's impossible.
You have to do side quests, or else you'll go, well, I'm level 10, and this is my main mission that I have to do, and it's for level 35, and I'm gonna die now. But the thing is, if you're like me and you refuse to accept failure, you're gonna spend about 7 hours trying to kill the High Griffin at level 7.
And while you're like, what, a level 2 free?
No, you're level 7, and the High Griffin, I think, is level 20-something.
Oh!
It took me hours. Basically, I just kept... I had my crossbow out, and I just kept rolling out of his attack, shooting a crossbow at it, roll out of the attack, shoot a crossbow. It took me hours and countless tries. I managed to get it. I did. It was insane, though. It was really hard. For those of you who don't know, it's a griffin on top of a mountain near where the Baron lives, and it's a bounty quest that you get in that town where the Baron is, which I don't remember because I played it when it released. I stopped because of a bunch of other games. I haven't even finished the story, and I have 80 hours in. But
80 hours.
But 50% of those hours are spent in Gwent.
And Gwent is what again, Nate?
Gwent is the small card game, which honestly I've searched online for a copy of that game. Basically what happens is, for the people who don't know, Gwent is a game where you have yourself and an opponent, and you have a hand of, I think it's 10 cards. And what happens is you have your front line, your archers, and your ballistas, catapults, whatever. And you can play, it's been so long, is it 1 or 2 cards per turn?
You know what, Nate? We can go over the rules of the game maybe in a separate video. If you want, we can have a video completely dedicated to Gwent, which I'm sure you would love.
Yeah, that game is amazing. It's amazing.
So,
it's a cool
but
card.
the point is, you spent how many hours playing this little card game mini game in this big AAA game?
Maybe 40 out of the 80 hours I've played it. I've collected most of the cards.
40 hours. 40 hours playing a mini game card game in a game.
It's insane. I've looked online for
like an actual physical copy of Gwent.
Either physical copies or remakes where you could play the game against other players. I found something, but it got shut down by not by Project Red, not by CG Project Red. I don't remember who, but it got shut down though.
Oh, that's a damn shame.
Yeah, that is.
But isn't that a testament to how good The Witcher is?
No,
and that
The Witcher is amazing.
Its mini game is so good that you spent more time in the mini game. But besides the mini game, what do you think of like the open world and the combat of the game? Because I find it was a huge improvement from Witcher 1 and 2, which I just couldn't get into The Witcher 1 and 2 because the gameplay wasn't for me. Witcher 3, complete turnaround gameplay. I'm really enjoying. What about you? Sorry to interrupt.
The first one I didn't like you said. The second one was good to me, but the third one, holy shit. Third one, like you said, was an insane and a huge improvement. I'm having trouble finding what to say here. The fighting, it was fast paced and strategic at the same time. Like you can't just go all in. No, you're gonna die. Stop, silly player.
Shockingly, the combat is very Dark Souls-esque.
Oh yeah, it is. Now that I think about it, that's pretty much it. It's Dark Souls kinda, but with more preparation to it. Because you can prepare all those oils and those, you have to use the right signs against your enemies.
Your magic.
Yeah. Well, they're not magic. They're signs.
It's magic.
Okay, fine. It's magic. But yeah, and you have to cast, for example, fighting a vampire. I
haven't fought a vampire yet. Go on.
Okay. Well, there are multiple kinds of vampires. And in the trailer, in one of the trailers for The Witcher 3, there is a vampire, and what you're fighting is a high vampire. I have not fought one of those, but they're one of the hardest enemies in the game. Okay? And how you kill them is exactly, you have your Igni sign. What he threw at the vampire was actually a silver dust potion, which basically they're weak to because they're revealed, and it makes them harder. It makes them harder to fight. What he drank before the combat, I don't remember what it's called, but what it is it poisons your blood, and when the vampire drinks your blood, it poisons him. But it's not toxic to the Witcher. It's not mortal to the vampire, but it extremely weakens them, which is how he was able to kill it in the trailer.
Oh, shit. And you can do that really in the game?
You can actually do all of those things that he did in the game.
Wow. Again, that makes The Witcher Free all the more impressive. We could talk about The Witcher Free for a couple more hours, but I think we should move on. Anyways, but before we move on, Witcher Free, where would you put it in, like, your games of the year? Is it your game of the year?
I think that, I don't know. It's either 1 or 2, and my second one I'm pretty sure is going to come up in this video.
Mm-hmm. We'll get to it, don't you worry.
Alright.
But yeah, another game that is highly discussed amongst The Witcher Free in terms of what people call Game of the Year, Fallout 4.
Yeah, I have that too. I played Fallout 4, but I don't know. I didn't get insanely into it.
Wow. Oh, okay, I need to hear this. Why?
It was good. I started playing it, and I had fun. I had a lot of fun. But I don't know. Something turned me up. Maybe it was the graphics.
Really?
Maybe it was the graphics that turned me up. But I'm going to start playing again during when the new year comes, because I've seen the series on YouTube, Fallout 4 Weekly. And
I've never heard of this series.
It's the same series it's the same guy that made the Skyrim mods weekly.
Oh, okay.
And he made a Fallout 4 weekly series. And his new series, I've seen a couple mods that improve the graphics insanely. Like the water textures, he can get them up to 8K resolution.
8K? Past 4K?
8K resolution.
Wow.
That's insane.
But wait, so what is it about the graphics that play such a big deal to you? Because, Nate, I've never known you to be a person that's like
I know.
graphics over gameplay.
Like, usually I'm like, nah, graphics, I don't mind, gameplay for the win. And then, I don't know, I played Fallout 4 and I was like, eh. But the game itself was really good. I didn't get insanely into it, like I said, but I loved it, and I'm definitely going to keep playing it until I find exactly what mods I want so that I get into the game. Like, one of the mods that I want to install is the Touch of Green, because, I don't know, I didn't like the area that we were in, even though it's supposed to be a wasteland. It doesn't feel like it's been 200 years. There should be trees again. I want the green. I want the... That's what I mean by the graphics. I mean, I want more color. I want more. It's too dark for me.
In my opinion, there certainly is way more color when you compare it to Fallout 3. At least in my opinion, there seems to be way more color.
Which is exactly why I didn't play Fallout 3 that much. I also have Fallout 3 Game of the Year, and I didn't play it that much because it felt too dark. Not enough color, not enough immersion in the game.
Okay, but you also played New Vegas as well, though, right?
New Vegas I have not played, no.
Oh, okay, sorry. I'm getting all the games confused here. I apologize. Well, okay, if Fallout 4 wasn't the biggest game for you, wasn't the game you expected to be, I can completely understand that. Not every game's going to be for everyone. Every game's going to have a different reaction from people. It's very peculiar that the graphics had such an effect on you.
I know, but like I said, it was more of the immersion that I had into the game than the graphics itself. Like, the game is beautiful, and I especially love Piper, how she talks and how she acts.
Oh, Piper's awesome.
I mean, the facial animation is pretty well made, if you ask me.
I know, I've heard some people complain about the facial animation. I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I love it.
It looks great to me.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on from Fallout 4. So, not one of your favorite games of the year, but one game I know that you have been praising non-stop since you started playing it,
Yep.
and is a contender for your game of the year, Just Cause 3.
Exactly. I mean,
So, let me hear you sing your praises. What is it about Just Cause 3 that you love so much?
well, any game that you can drive a Lamborghini outside of a cargo plane 4 kilometers up in the sky deserves to be on top of my list. I mean, I don't know if you guys know, but the huge island in the game, when you complete it, you get, I don't know what it's called, but it's a cargo plane, and it can hold up to 10 cars. You get into the plane, you get a car into that plane, and then you fly up in the sky, get out of the plane, into the cargo, and then open the door and drive your car out of the plane while it's flying. If
I
you
don't
actually
know
make
many
it-
games that let you do that.
And if you actually make it, I actually landed on a mountain and drove down the mountain.
Wow.
I just can't wait till I land on a helicopter.
Well, you're still just doing that over and over again?
I haven't done it that much, but I really want to land on a helicopter. I mean, can you imagine? Especially since I've tried it. If you tether a car to your helicopter and you make the car swing above your helicopter and on top of your helicopter doesn't actually crash. It just stops spinning and you start into a free fall. But if you time it properly, you can start flying again.
Oh my goodness. So it's the craziness
It's
and the zaniness.
craziness. I mean, Dima,
Dima.
Dima, which is an NPC in the game, a character. She's just, I mean, the craziness. The craziness.
And that's something that really allures you to the game, just the fact that it's balls out, let's do everything crazy.
Yeah, Just Cause 2 wasn't that crazy. I didn't peg it for a crazy game, but Just Cause 3, holy crap. That's insane. I love it so much. The amount of things you can do. I saw a video of a guy who, you know in those parks, the things that go in circles and a bunch of kids are on that thing and it goes in circle with like bars. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about.
I think I have an idea.
Well, he tethered a bunch of people to that and he put rocket mines on the people and he made it spin.
So he made a merry-go-round of rocketeering people.
Yes. Civilians.
Oh god.
I mean, there's no limit to the craziness you can do in that game. That, or even putting the rocket mines are one of my favorite items. Putting rocket mines on the bottom of a flying helicopter,
Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh my.
or tethering an enemy tank to an enemy helicopter, or a boat, to that matter, or a person if you want.
So, this is more tethering the game than Just Cause 3, the game. It's more tether everything to everything, the game.
Yeah, especially tether a person to a flying canister.
Oh dear.
You actually
Oh my.
get an achievement for that.
So, I get why this game appeals to you, Nate. I get... It's a game where you can just, if I'm correct, like, just let loose. I played it myself, and I really do enjoy the game. It's not perfect, but damn is it a good time.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people have had trouble with the game. It keeps crashing and everything, but I haven't had any problems with it, which I like pretty much, which I enjoy. Not having problems with a game is one of a plus for me. But like I said, I know a bunch of people have had problems, and I feel for you. I'm sorry.
It's a damn shame. It happens. It happens with games nowadays. It's unfortunate. Games are being bigger and bigger, more complex. It happens.
Yep.
Anyways, one last game I want to talk to you about because we're hitting the half-hour mark with this video.
Shoot.
One last game I want to talk to you about. Shoot? Me shoot?
Yeah, shoot.
Or shoot something's wrong?
Half an hour. That's a long time.
Yes. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Okay, last game I want to talk to you about. Dying Light.
Mm-hmm.
So, I know you really enjoyed that game as well. So, what are your opinions on Dying Light? Because you've played a lot of zombie games, a lot of open world games. How does Dying Light fare amongst that crowd?
Dying Light, I've played it. I've only played 14 hours though. And
That's still a lot of hours. That's still quite a few
yeah,
hours.
it's still quite a few. I love I played the zombie mode a bit. I find it a little bit bullshit, the zombie mode, because it's really hard.
The multiplayer.
Yeah, the multiplayer itself. I'm just gonna start with the multiplayer because that's the freshest in my memory. I find it. I don't know if it's me because I suck at being a zombie, or if it's because the other players were really good. It's pretty hard as a zombie, but the single player itself, at a certain point, gets really easy.
Really, you find?
Yeah. I mean, I still have that katana that you gave me.
Oh yeah.
That one-shots the brutes.
Oh yeah.
That 2,000 damage katana.
Yeah.
That's pretty...
You were meant to give that back.
Yeah, I know. I just decided to keep it because I like to farm XP. I just... Basically, right now, I run around at night and kill the nightmares.
Well, before I gave you the katana, are you considering like playing the game normally, like how you would usually play?
Oh yes,
and, like progress and find up your own gear?
When I actually play the storyline, I don't use the katana. If it's just for running around and killing stuff, I use the katana. But the story itself is good. It's a good story. It's not a top of the line story, but it's a good story and it has some challenging moments. Spoilers ahead, if you don't mind.
Nope,
for
I don't
when,
mind.
For example, when you destroy the antizin supply, the mission where you destroy the antizin supply, I was like, oh, I feel like a dick.
I think that was the point.
Yeah, but the story so far is really good, and the bad guy, which I'm sorry, I really
Rise.
I didn't remember his name. The bad guy.
He's a huge dick.
Yeah, when you encounter him cutting the hand off someone, it's a morally conflicting game.
I can definitely see that. But gameplay. How do you think about the gameplay?
I love the parkouring.
There
really
we go.
Nice. I don't know if that's what you were hoping for since the beginning. The parkouring is it's pretty well made. Honestly, I think it's very well made, and there's practically nothing that you can't latch on to.
Which is pretty awesome.
Yeah, you climb pretty much any building and anything.
Where other games kind of limit you, like even the Assassin's Creed games that are...
Yeah, the climbing is better than Assassin's Creed.
Wow, you'd go that far?
I'd go that far. The parkouring itself is better than Assassin's Creed, because Assassin's Creed is like, wait, there's a hole right there. Why can't I grab onto that hole? And honestly,
okay, I can definitely see where you're coming from there. Alright, before we wrap up this video, Nate, are there any other games that you played that came out the year 2015 that you think are worth mention for their quality, or just stuff that you really like that came out this year?
Specifically in 2015, no.
Nope.
For if you count, wait, let me just check something. Did Dark Souls 2: The Scholar of the First Sin come out in 2015? No.
Yes, it
did.
did.
It did. Scholar of the First Sin came out in 2015?
Yeah.
Well, okay. Then, Scholar of the First Sin. Dark Souls.
Anything you'd like to say about that?
I haven't played... I have played the original Demon Souls. I have played the original Dark Souls. And I have played Dark Souls 2. And it has honestly become one of my favorite franchises ever. And I'm so hyped for the third one. I cannot wait. I've seen a bunch of lore theories, and man, that's got me even more hyped. And the gameplay itself of the third one that's coming out soon looks a lot more fast-paced than the second and the first one, as in, you know, you'd mostly play it defensively. And the new one, which is coming out soon, in a couple months, I think, looks like it's more of an offensive, and I love the fact that they brought back the mana bar from the original Dark Souls.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, in the original Dark Souls, you'd have a mana bar instead of a limited amount of spell uses. So
that's really good to know.
yeah, you'd use these things exactly as you used Estus to replenish your health. You'd use something else to replenish your mana bar, which does not replenish automatically. You need to use something or rest at a bonfire to replenish them.
Excellent, excellent. That is really awesome to know.
Yeah.
Anyways, Nate, we've been going on for the half-hour mark talking about a lot of great games that came out this year. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts and opinions on these great games and your favorite games of the year.
Yeah, you're welcome. I mean, can't wait to do it again.
Absolutely. So, we will see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video. Please leave a comment, please leave a like, and shout out to Foldaren, Nate, Nathan, whatever the hell your name is. Thank you so much for your help, man, and we will both see you later.
See ya.